In today's video, I'm finally getting around to playing some Orzhov Sacrifice in Standard, best of one. This is one of those decks that I've dabbled with quite a bit personally. I've always wanted to make a video on this deck, but it just hasn't felt quite right to me in the past. Maybe because of pilot issues, maybe because it wasn't the right meta call, maybe I just didn't have the right build of the deck. I don't know, something was always off. Anyways, the Hobbit has introduced 2 new cards to the deck, and the meta has slowed down quite a bit since the bans, so I think this is a pretty good time to finally make a video on old Sephiroth, Fabled Soldier. And I suppose if we're going to talk about the deck, we got to talk about the man of the hour, the card that this deck is kind of built around. Sephiroth says, whenever Sephiroth enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. And then, whenever another creature dies, whether it's your creature or your opponent's creature, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And if this is the 4th time this ability has resolved, you flip Sephiroth into the One-Winged Angel side, which is basically a souped-up version of the front side. So based on Sephiroth here, I'm sure you can get a pretty good idea about what this deck is doing. We want to sacrifice a whole bunch of fodder, ping the opponent down, and that's how we're going to win the game most of the time. Now we have other ways of pinging the opponent, the main one being the Vengeful Blood Witch, probably the second most important card in this deck. This thing says whenever a creature we control dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And then from the Hobbit, we have the Sackville-Bagginses, which is the last way of pinging the opponent. This one has a little bit of a limitation, but it says whenever you sacrifice a token, target opponent loses 1 life. We do have quite a few tokens going on in the deck. Of course, the Sackville-Bagginses are going to make a treasure token when they enter. And then we also have the insect from the Infestation Sage. We have the human soldier from the Lake Town Lookout. And most importantly, we have the warriors from the Voice of Victory. So I'm sure we're going to be sacrificing plenty of tokens over the course of the game. However, the majority of our damage is going to be coming from the Vengeful Blood Witch and also from Sephiroth. Now, how do we sacrifice things? Well, we got a couple of different ways of doing that. We have the Umbral Caller Zealot, which is probably our premier way of sacrificing something because we want that Surveil 1 for a card I'm going to talk about in a second. And then we also have Bartolome de Presidio. I think I said that right. I don't know. Another sacrifice outlet. Whenever this one sacrifices a card, though, we get to put a +1/+1 counter on Bartolome. So this is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Servandum is another way of benefiting from our sacrifices. We are going to be putting +1/+1 counters every time another creature we control dies or is put into exile. And then also Servandum is going to serve as some niche removal in some situations. Now we are playing, of course, Raise the Past. So that means that we want to benefit from putting stuff in our graveyard, either through sacrificing those creatures or from surveilling them in the graveyard with Umbral Caller Zealot. But we actually have another very, very important card in the deck. Actually, maybe the most important card overall for the functioning of the deck, not for the killing of our opponent, but for the general functioning of the deck, and that is the Snarling Gorehound, because the Snarling Gorehound says whenever another creature you control with power 2 or less enters, which is the majority of cards in our deck, we get to surveil 1. Having a Snarling Gorehound on turn 1 is absolutely key because we want to be filling our graveyard as much as we possibly can for the inevitable Raise the Past, because this essentially is a bit of a combo deck at the end of the day. We want to put a whole bunch of stuff on the field. We want to the sack outlet, the sack fodder, and also the pinger on the field all in one fell swoop, which will then enable us to sacrifice everything, ping the opponent down before they have a chance of reacting. The last 2 cards to mention in the deck are the Enduring Innocence, which serves as a little bit of card draw, and I suppose a little bit of life gain if we need it, but it's mostly there for the card draw. And then 2 copies of Emptiness, because often your Sephiroth is the target of your opponent's aggression, and you might need a way of bringing Sephiroth back onto the field. It can also be a little bit of removal in some cases, but for the most part, we're going to be using it for the double white mana to bring back Sephiroth. So that is the deck. We're going to hop into some games and see how this one performs. And hopefully we get to see a whole bunch of these Sackville-Bagginses doing their thing. See you over in the games. So I got a question for you right off the hop. Do you like clicking? Because if you like clicking, this is the deck for you. This is the clickiest deck you could ever possibly imagine. Okay, our opening hand a little bit awkward with our lands, and we're going to throw Servandum into the bin because, well, in the end, what this deck is aiming to do is just load up the graveyard as much as we possibly can, and then once we've loaded up the graveyard, we hit them with the rest, or the Raise the Past. We just hope that they don't have any nasty surprises for us, that they don't have any surprise main board graveyard hate. That's the goal of the deck. Put everything into the graveyard as much as you can whenever you're surveilling. Not every single time, but a lot of the time you're just dumping everything in there and you go from there. The opponent on double white, they do not have the good old verge problems. All right, so from here, we are going to attack in with the Voice of Victory, and I think probably the best way to go about things is to just slam the Sephiroth onto the field because they cannot do anything. We have the Voice of Victory sitting here that says opponents can't cast spells during your turn. We get the free sacrifice there, draw a card, a second Voice of Victory. That's what you want to see, and we ping the opponent. So on the following turn, we can actually emblem up Sephiroth, assuming the opponent doesn't do anything to... Okay, they did enough. I think we probably... Oh, hold up. So this is not what I was expecting it to be. This is going to be artifacts. And because it's artifacts, I kind of want to flip Sephiroth. And I can do that. It's just, it's going to cost me a lot. You know what? We're here to see it. We're here to see it. Actually, I'm not 100% sure that I can flip Sephiroth here, but we need to draw a little bit well. Is it worth doing it? You know what? We don't need to be too hasty on it. Let's just attack in. I do want to sacrifice this. You know what? Maybe we're... Ooh, that's not good. Okay, raise the pass, really good though. Okay, we're gonna throw that away. Yeah, attack them for 3. So I could sacrifice, and go from there. Do I really want to take the risk of... Let's do it. This needs to be a non-land card. Okay, Sackville-Bagginses. Good. Oh, so good. Throw that into the graveyard. And okay, so you guys see the plan. We're flipping Sephiroth. I'm gonna try my best to say Sephiroth properly. And next turn we're aiming to do raise the past to get everything on the board. So now we have a flipped One-Wing Angel Supernova. As this creature transforms into Sephiroth One-Wing Angel, you get an emblem that says whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Then whenever Sephiroth attacks, you may sacrifice any number of creatures, and if you do, you draw that many cards. So basically it doubles up on things because we now have this thing over on the emblem, you know, on the side here. It's dealing 1 damage every time something dies. And then, does Sephiroth still do it? No, he doesn't still do it, does he? So I was wrong on that. I kind of had it in my mind that it would be also still pinging the opponent, but it's not the case. It doesn't matter. Next turn, we were going to hit them with the raise the pass, bringing back all of this good stuff, and it was going to be a miserable experience for the opponent who got stuck on some verges. Next one. Good little opener. I think I don't get the Sephiroth emblem very often, so it is pretty neat to be able to get that right off the hop. Our mana base a little bit funky. If we draw an untapped land here, it could be pretty good. Now the opponent is on the opponent is on life gain, so we might have time, but they might also I didn't expect that. The opponent might also have things like... What am I afraid of? I'm afraid of... Of course, Shelter by Ghost. That's what they might have. That's what I was trying to get to. But we'll see. We'll see what happens as we go through the game with the Mace of Trite. I put out the Voice of Victory because I want to get this Enduring Innocence on the field and try to maybe draw some cards on the following turn with Voice of Victory. If they attack in and they don't have 3 power worth of creatures on the field, I'd be able to get an okay attack off here or there. And that seems to be the case. The opponent is just sending in the crew, and their follow-up is Mozio with nothing in the bin. So that is okay. They are gaining a lot, and we are down to 14 already. But we do get to do this. Now, I guess I'm going to attack in with the Voice of Victory. If they want to trade Voice of Victory for the Mozio, I'm kind of okay with that. They do not. I didn't think they would. Okay, so we are going to have to find a way to gain some life very soon. And we don't have the same tools that we had in the previous game. Do I want to throw my my Enduring Innocence underneath the Voice of Victory? Most certainly not. So if I did that, I mean, I just lose my Enduring Innocence, of course, and I might need it for the future. Erode on my poor Voice of Victory, which is maybe fine. You know, ramping us a little bit. We are down to the biggest problem is we're down to 8, and I need to find. They throw down another Mozio. Oh, a Mozio to beget Mozio, to beget more pests. Is that what we're doing here? All right, that's what we're doing. I like it. Why not? So, Infestation Sage actually a good draw. Surprisingly, we get a draw out of the Enduring Innocence, which is just another Godless Shrine, and we're just flopping Sephiroth onto the field. We're hoping that that last card in our opponent's hand is not going to be such a great thing. We can gain a little bit of life here, and now we're in the spot where we actually probably will start blocking with the Enduring Innocence and trying to trigger Sephiroth a little bit more because we want to just stabilize with a little bit of life gain. Right now, Graveyard not looking nearly as swole as it did on the previous or in the previous game, but we do have Bartholomew, so we can sacrifice the Infestation Sage and bring it back. It's not great, but it's something that we could possibly do. Vengeful Blood Witch is our draw for the turn, which is a pretty good draw. We don't have our Snarling Gorehound, which is the real problem that's going on here. I have two choices. I can flip Sephiroth, but I would have to use my Raise the Past, I think. Although, I could just put out the Vengeful Blood Witch and Bartholomew, sacrifice a whole bunch of stuff. Actually, I don't hate that plan. I think it might be the better way to go. So, Bartholomew onto the field, we find another encampment, not what we really wanted to see. And then from here, sack. Maybe? But we're going to do it in a little bit of a different order. So do I send in... Let's send in the Enduring Innocence just as an attacker. We'll see what the opponent ends up doing here. I don't know. I might be picking the wrong line here. I'm so eager to flip Sephiroth here. I think that's going to be kind of fun. Now, do I value the 2 life that I gained from the Enduring Innocence, or do I value the +1/+1? I think I just value the 2 life. I'd rather get that. So Vengeful Blood Witch dies. We ping the opponent. We get a new Enduring Innocence, which means when I sacrifice this Infestation Sage, I'm going to draw another card. And it's a Snarling Gorehound, which is actually kind of good. So from here, I think it doesn't matter. We'll just surveil into the graveyard, which is a nice Voice of Victory. Fantastic. And I do think we are going the route of sacrifice the insects, get the flipped Sephiroth, and it's fine. It's super, super, super fine. Okay. Throw down the Snarling Gorehound for the future, and yeah, we're just building up towards this. Raise the Past. Our graveyard looking better because of the Voices of Victory. Exemplar of Light's good. I don't really... Actually, I do care a little bit about it because it's going to actually get rather large, and we don't really have a way of killing it outside of Servondum. We need to find that card very fast if we have any hope of taking out that. I don't like this attack from the opponent. I understand why they're doing it, but this is going to be a lot of drain from our side of the field because we are going to be able to... Oh my god. We are in one of those matchups that is just going to be Trigger City. Trigger, trigger, trigger. You like triggers? Okay. We're going to block like this. I'm not going to block the Voice of Victory. Do I want to block with the Vengeful Blood Witch? Sure. Just let it die? This is fine. Sure. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Triggers. I guess I'm missing a couple of triggers. Maybe the Vengeful Blood Witch should have stayed on the field because it would have triggered twice on these 2 warriors dying. But I'm also going to be getting more triggers. This is going to be fun. Believe me, this is going to be fun. Bartholomew dead? Do they have the Requiting Hex? Oh no. Please don't have... That's fine. That's fine. Bartholomew dying here is fine. Sure. More triggers. So they have a huge Exemplar of Light, but if I have done things properly in my head, wow, they get a free emptiness. That's kind of cool. We're gonna, they should be toast on the next turn. I do think so. Okay, put this out, put this out. So we now have Sephiroth and One Wing Angel on the field. Decline that sacrifice and bring back everything with Raise the Past, and we get to click. Are you ready to click? We're clicking. Voice of Victory in the graveyard. Oh, why, opponent? Why? Why did you do that to me? It would have been so cool. Oh man, I want to marvel at it. So we had ping here, and ping from the emblem, and we could sacrifice everything, or we could just attack in with Sephiroth and sacrifice the entire board and then do all that damage there. So it would have been insane. Pretty cool back-to-back games, actually seeing double Sephiroth emblems. Can't really complain about how this video has shaped up already. I think it doesn't really matter how we go forward from here. Man, our land base has not been helping me out very much at all. We definitely want to get this Voice of Victory on the field for turn 2 so that we can have it on the field for Sephiroth on turn 3. So that means I have to go with the encampment, the awkward encampment on turn 1, just so I have 2 mana on turn 2. Now the opponent is representing a way of killing our poor Voice of Victory, but they're not going to be able to do it on this turn, so their mana is going to kind of be wasted unless they have a Quench. Quench would have been bad. Ooh, they don't have it. And so if our Voice of Victory makes it through this turn, we attack, we make our mobilized tokens, we flop down old Sephi here, and go to town. I'm so worried about how I'm saying Sephiroth, because the last time I did play this card in a deck, I was saying like Sephiroth. And I was criticized for my pronunciation of Sephiroth. Still, we are having some trouble with our mana base, and you know what? I think I want my Voice of Victory back. My opponent used their Abrade to take out the Voice of Victory. I think it's probably worth putting back on the field. And next turn, if we draw an untapped land next turn, we can go Snarling Gorehound. Whoa, what? Well, sometimes the games just has it out for you, right? Imagine that, Tablet of Discovery to hit the lightning strike off the top rope, and we don't find our second. This one might be scuffed. The opponent is running very well, and we are drooling all over our cards right now. No, they're up to 7 mana, so we should expect a Keystone Capstone, whatever it is. Improvisation Capstone, that's what it is. What is a Keystone Capstone? I'm just blathering because I'm so frustrated at how utterly poorly our deck has gone against an opponent that's on a Tablet of Discovery. Oh, I wanted to grab Sephiroth there. It just like whooped around him. Maybe it's okay. We get to put a Vengeful Blood Witch in the graveyard. I'm not giving up hope yet. Nothing? Nothing from the opponent? How is that possible? Okay, just a tap land. Are they afraid? We found it. We found our second black source. Fantastic. Shadowy Backstreet, the card that would have allowed our things to come in untapped. I'm gonna put that into the graveyard, because what I am gonna do is I'm gonna put out a Vengeful Blood Witch. And I want 2 more Surveils on the Gorehound. I wasn't going to keep the encampment. All right. Our only hope is building up towards this Raise the Past. I don't know what's going on the opponent's side of the field. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 mana. Surely they have any number of things that they could do to us, right? They at least should have some stock ups, or I don't know, consult the star charts, some kind of draw. Are they a Jeskai deck who's holding a mitt full of white cards? Is that what's happening here? There's no way that's what's happening. Maybe they are just so afraid of Raise the Past. Do I want to draw that? Actually, that's probably not the worst draw. Okay, Sephiroth to the field. If it resolves, fantastic. We sacrifice the Infestation Sage. It could be just a case of the opponents like playing with their food right now. Lightning Strike. That's fine. Wow. Wow, what do you suspect is going on in our opponent's hand? Maybe they'll give us a little bit of information with this discard. It's a Spell Pierce. Well, Spell Pierce is certainly a good card. And one that probably would have wrecked us a little bit. Sackville-Bagginses, let's go into the graveyard. And our planes, let's go into the graveyard as well. Surely what they're doing is they're sitting here waiting to counter a Raise the Past. Because they are very much onto our game plan. I don't know if I'm going to be able to resolve a Raise the Past. We'll see. The opponent is hemorrhaging life right now, right? An Avenger's Disassembled. So they still have 3 mana available to them, which is quite a bit of mana, but we now have, well, we're still a little bit short to dodge a Spell Pierce. Oopsie. To dodge a Spell Pierce. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to resolve that. So is it better just to put the Servandum on the field with the Vengeful Blood Witch and hope they do something? Or do I just take this opportunity to slam one of these Raise the Pasts? Let's go for it. Oh boy! Oh boy! I completely wrote this game off. This game was a cooked game. I had no hope in my heart that I was going to be able to beat an Izzet control deck that was putting out a whole bunch of lands when we're sitting there on 3 lands. We couldn't even find the black source, and somehow the opponent ran worse than we ran. Maybe they just have like more Avengers Disassembled in their hand. They clearly don't have any instant speed things. Miracles happen. Perhaps that last game was actually a lesson in perseverance and not just scooping things up as soon as they look bad. In my head, I was definitely thinking like, this game is done. There's nothing I can possibly do here. And lo and behold, things worked out. So I'm actually like very shocked at how that game worked out. Oh boy, we are against Superior Spider-Man, Kavaro. We need to put things in our graveyard ASAP. And unfortunately, this encampment's a good card, but it has been giving me some woe this game for sure. Thankfully, we do have the Snarling Gorehound. The Snarling Gorehound is going to be a pretty good card for putting stuff onto the field. So, or putting stuff into my graveyard, rather. I have a choice here. The choice is Infestation Sage, next turn Sephiroth, or I just put out one of these creatures and go from there. I kind of think it's probably the Umbral Caller Zealot. And the reason I want to put the Umbral Caller Zealot on the field is because if they do get to a point where they are thinking about doing their Bringer of the Last Gift, maybe I can start filling the graveyard before it resolves, and then at least I bring stuff back. However, the opponent's on the play. We haven't put anything into our graveyard yet. They have the turn 4 Superior Spider-Man. So I think it might all be a fruitless effort. However, again, not giving up is the name of the game. Because we can still put out a couple of things, get a couple of surveils on the following turn, and then sacrifice stuff. It doesn't look good, but perhaps. Now, this is maybe the bigger problem. The Terror of the Peaks is going to be able to dome us for quite a bit of damage when all of this stuff does inevitably come in to the field. I suppose they still do need to draw. Actually, that's a good draw. That's a really good draw. It's actually not a good, it's an okay draw. So I think what it needs to be is Lake Town Lookout first. Surveil. Surveil, Voice of Victory. Great. Then we're going to sacrifice our Lake Town Lookout. We need to find an untapped white source. We didn't find it. We're going to put Sephiroth into the graveyard. More Surveil. More Surveil. I know I said I needed an untapped white source, but now I don't. The reason I needed an untapped white source was so that I could get Servandum on the field, but that didn't end up happening. Maybe I should have put out the Bagginses, maybe. It's fine. Okay. And no attack from our side of the field, and we'll just go from there. Yes, perhaps the Bagginses on the last turn was the right call. Do they slam Superior Spider-Man? Do they take Sephiroth? Or do they take Bringer of the Last Gift? Let's see what they end up doing. It is Bringer. So we go through the motion of sacrificing properly. I think it's better to lose the 1/1 insect token. It's fine. Because we get... Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Okay. Keep sacking more stuff. I don't know if I have enough damage. But I do have a lot of damage. And you better believe that I'm going to be trying my best here. Okay, that's it. Can't do anything else. All of this stuff comes onto the field. Terror of the Peaks, scary. Where do they send it? Do they send it face, or do they send it onto Sephiroth, onto the Umbral Callers out? So they're pushing the situation. I think I have enough damage. Because I have damage here, I'm sacrificing so much stuff. So 4, 8, 12, 6, 4, 8, 12, 16, I think is how that's going to work. I think I just have like enough damage to... Wait, why? Why is it... Hang on. Game. No. I need control. Give me control. Why can't I have control? Game. Raise the Past. We want Raise the Past. We don't... Do we want Raise the Past? I can't actually play it. I need control. Give me control. Okay. Sacrifice another creature. It's acting weirdly. I don't like what's happening. Oh, maybe I did need to Raise the Past. Okay. Here we go with clicks. Oh, we're going so many clicks. Okay, I do have control. I'm so worried right now that I'm in full control and it's going to actually take even longer to do everything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what. We need to win right here. Okay. Thank goodness Griffith scooped it up. All right. If you do eventually in the future start to play this deck, do not play this deck on mobile, because the amount of clicking that you have to go through, it's just absurd. I just don't know why it didn't... Did I click like past the turn or something? It was weird that it was resolving all my Snarling Gorehounds without giving me any kind of control until I hit control, and control allowed it to go into full control. I don't know. Weird. It's pretty fun to see a Kavaro player get a taste of their own medicine though, isn't it? Right? We can bring stuff back from the graveyard as well. Love it. Again, our mana base and our lands not working out in our favor because we have the dreaded Verge on turn 1 with a white creature and nothing we can do about it. So all we can do is put the swamp onto the field and play to the rest of the stuff. Now, I kept this hand because it's good. The rest of the hand is definitely good. Let's go with Servandum. Servandum onto the field means next turn we can go Lake Town Lookout into Sackville-Bagginses. Finally seeing the Bagginses show up and do... What are they doing in this picture? I haven't actually like looked at it. Is she like measuring out a noose? Because they look evil. Are the Sackville-Bagginses bad people? They must be bad people. Are we against another Kavaro player? We don't have... We do not have what we need to fight against a Kavaro player this time around. Last Last game was fine. We had all the tools that we needed. This time around, we are in a lot of trouble. Oh, no, man. Okay, well, we're going to do what we can do. And what we can do is put out the Sackville-Bagginses, sacrifice this creature. Snarling Gorehound, good for the future. Do I want to put... So, we're probably going to go Gorehound into... I don't like putting my Blood Witch into the bin, but I think it's probably necessary. What we need is a sack out. We need to find the Umbral Caller Zealot. We need to find Bartholomew, something like that. Okay, they have right away Superior Spider-Man. They're probably just going to slam... If I were them, you slam Arden onto the field, and you start bringing back stuff from our graveyard. And I actually don't think that I can come back from that, because every turn they're going to have so many nasty things coming out of our graveyard. And yeah... All right, we got the one up on the Kavaro player in the previous game, you know, sending the Bringer of the Last Gift into the Shadow Realm. But this time around, we are in for a world of hurt. Is that the play? That feels bad. Unfortunately, Emptiness only doing -3/-3 to the Superior Spider-Man, so it survives. And we find our land, but it's going to be a little bit too late. Mostly because every turn they're going to be getting something back with the Superior Spider-Man. And we just can't. Now, should I bring back the Sackville-Baggins or the Servandum now with the Emptiness? That might actually be a bit of a better play. And that also puts the Emptiness in the graveyard for, I don't know, possible future things with Bringer of the Last Gift. I don't think that's really what's going to happen, but you never know. Sure. Infestation Sage. We're just cooked, right? Okay. Well, this is a lot of cards that are going into the graveyard. I can't attack in. I think we're going to give it one more turn. The problem is Sniper has probably like one of the better cards that they could have against us for slowing us down. And we don't have our Sephiroth or sack outs on the field. Okay, Breeding Pool from the opponent tapped. So they don't... I don't know. Who knows what measure of nasty things they could have for us. The problem is that they're gonna bring back Emptiness. Aw, Emptiness would have been so good if they brought that back. No, it's just a Servandum, and they're gonna attack in with the Servandum. I think we put the entire lot in front of the Servandum. We trade off with Servandum. We put a Snarling Gorehound, a Sackville-Baggins into the graveyard. It's fine. Even if they use removal here to kill, let's say, the Sackville-Baggins, it's fine. It's fine. I'm telling myself it's fine. Hopefully they don't have a counterspell. If they have a counterspell on the next turn, then we'll be in real bad shape. Vengeful Blood Witch is good. Maybe for the future. Should I have put the... I guess it doesn't really matter. So, we put as much stuff onto the field as we can. Yeah, I should have put... That's my bad. I should have put the Vengeful Blood Witch out. So, no sack? Decline. Oh, that feels bad. I just don't want to give them more food. Oh, they still have the Emptiness. Okay, they have the Emptiness. They're going to get something back no matter what, so... We may as well do that. Umbral Caller Zealot. That's cool. Yeah, whatever. Let's load up the graveyard. Okay. Man, deck, are you telling me to have hope again? This can't be right, right? Let's put this onto the field just in case we have to end up destroying things. And so we get a little bit of damage one way or another. And then next turn, we do have 6 mana available for the Raise the Past plus the Vengeful Blood Witch, if we need to do that. Okay, I'm going to give it one more turn. I think it's possible. It's definitely possible, especially with the Lake Town Lookouts, because we're going to be able to put the Umbral Zealot and actually the Vengeful Blood Witch into the graveyard if we really want to. So we'll see what they do. We want to stop on their end step. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this. Bring back emptiness. Bring back emptiness. Come on. And you know they're attacking. Okay. Let's do our blocks again, because I actually don't have for some reason I thought I had a way of sacrificing things, but I don't. So let's do this, and this. Keep the Snarling Gorehound, or do I not keep the Snarling Gorehound? No, I keep the Snarling Gorehound. It's very important to keep that. Okay, so we're gonna block like this. They're gonna go up to 35 life. I don't know if I have 35 life worth of damage, but we're going to try our best here. I guess I could have thrown, maybe I should have thrown the Snarling Gorehound underneath, because I'm not going to be scrying anything or surveilling anything anyways. Imagine they have a strategic betrayal, right? That would be pretty bad. Oh, they, yeah, they're going to kill my treasure. Oopsie. So, hey, that's one more point of damage that I can get on the opponent. We see the Raise the Past. We keep it. Ping, 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 ping. Do we just resolve all? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. They can destroy this. It doesn't... I should have sacked this earlier. Oh, wait. Hang on. We do get to draw. For some reason... Yeah, right. Recruit. Okay. That goes into the graveyard. We get another Surveil. This is actually working out so beautifully. Man, this deck is so crazy. Whether or not we're going to actually be able to find a win here, I don't know. But the deck does cool stuff. Double Raise the Past? Okay. Don't probably need the Verge. It's fine. Let's just crack it for the sake of cracking it. If I were smarter, I would have been a little bit more careful with how I blocked. I didn't even think about Servandum getting the trigger there. Okay. Well. Raise the Past. Do you have a counterspell? No. No counterspell. So we get a trigger here. We want to sacrifice the Lake Town Lookout, I think. Because we want, yeah, to do that. And we have another Sackville-Bagginses, which can maybe do something in the future. I don't know. Umbral Zealot. We can put that into the graveyard. I think it's fine. More surveilling. This is the annoying part about this deck, is keeping everything in line in your head. It's actually so tricky, right? I should have kept that. Am I drawing a card? I am drawing a card. I should have 100% kept that. My bad. I'm just so eager to throw everything into the bin, because we should, like I said, we should be fine here. It's a lot of damage, but I don't know how much. And the opponent's probably going to make me click through all of it. Hopefully not. Sackville, we don't want them again. We don't want it. Most things are going in the garbage. We only have 25 cards left in our deck. We have not seen a single Sephiroth. How much mana do I have? Do I actually have a Sackville-Bagginses? There's the token. There's the land. I think I haven't made my land drop. Okay. Do that. Sacrifice the Lake Town Lookout. Triggers, triggers, triggers. We get that. We throw this away. We generate another human for sack fodder. And now with Sephiroth on the field, we've increased our damage by a third. I think we don't care. Although I'm going to have to start maybe not maybe not putting all of my cards into the graveyard soon. But now we have 3 to 4 damage per sack. All right, I'm gonna just go through the motions right now because I think the opponent's gonna play it out. I'm probably gonna speed this up. So no more talking. I'm just gonna focus and click. Oh, thank God. Okay, I didn't need to do it. What? What? Can you believe it? 2 games against Cavaro. These are some crazy games. I've kind of like expected these games to just be like unwinnable at times, and then you don't have Graveyard Hate against this deck. You don't have the counter spell. Raise the Past turns out pretty dang good card when you can flop again your pinger, your sack out, and also your fodder onto the field just at one time, and then just go to town and do damage, 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 damage. Like this was going to be 4 damage, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 damage just from sacrificing these tokens because we're getting pings here, 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 and here. And we're going to flip our Sephiroth. Cool. I just got super lucky. I forgot to format my computer. Or not my computer, my camera. Man, this mana base. Usually, before I start recording a video, I'll always format the camera that I record my face on. And I happened to look up at the end of that last game and notice, what are we doing? Are we going to keep that? It's actually a pretty good card to keep on the top of the library because that on turn 2 plus Sephiroth and the Sackville-Bagginses and the future things. I'm going to keep that actually. Usually I put stuff in the bin, but I think it's probably a pretty good idea to keep that one around. Ooh. But yeah, I usually format the old camera beforehand, and I happened to look up and I saw the red blinking, your memory card is full situation going on, and I just like, uh-oh, we're in a little bit of trouble here. Whoa, no attack from the opponent, which is probably smart on their part. So let's fix the top of our library a little bit with a Snarling Gorehound into Laketown Lookout, into Laketown Lookout. We're looking for our 4th land. Also, we're looking for our Rest in Peace. So we're going to be a little bit greedy and put a whole bunch of stuff into the graveyard. We'll see if it works out. But yeah, I had to stop, took the stuff that I recorded, and I was really worried that I had messed up because those last 5 games have been like some of the craziest games that I've played, man. I've been having so much fun this morning playing this deck. Those things have gone really, really well, and I think we've produced some pretty good results. So that is not really what we want to see, but it is also not the worst card because what we can do is Infestation Sage onto the field. We get another Surveil. That's a tricky one. That is a tricky one because that means future card draw. But you know what? We have the Sackville-Bagginses. We have Sephiroth. I think it's probably okay to go this way. And from here, you know what? I'm going to sack these Infestation Sage because I don't know if I'm going to have something that I want to discard. That is unnecessary because we already have our 4th land. We put this in the graveyard as well. And we just do that. So now we have an attacker with the... Oops, I'm hitting things, sorry. I have an attacker with the 1/1 insect at the very least. And then we can keep digging through our library, sacrifice something with Sephiroth, maybe find the rest... raise the past. That's the goal. Anyways, crisis averted. I managed to make sure everything is being recorded, and we are back. Now, I think I only have 2 more games, this game plus 1 more game left in me because we've been going a little bit long with some of these games. Okay, from here, Sephiroth onto the field, and now everything that dies is going to be triggering... Oh boy. Now, the biggest problem though is that I don't actually have a sack out. And so although I have this beautiful Raise the Past, it's not the best. So is it better for me to attack in with the Voice of Victory this time around? We only have 4 cards in there that can come out. If they kill the Voice of Victory, they kill it. I think it's definitely an attack. I should have attacked with the 1/1. I said I was going to attack with the 1/1. Why didn't I attack with the 1/1? Okay, more Snarling Gorehounds. I think the opponent probably knows what's up. They could block the Voice of Victory, put it into the bin for our future Raise the Pass shenanigans. And yeah, now we're just in the situation where we desperately need to find a sack out. Oh, Sephiroth flips. I forgot that it was going to happen. Cool. Okay. That is actually a sack out because Sephiroth can attack in and sacrifice any number of creatures that we control, or a Boride. Cute. Actually, very dangerous against us. We're going to be taking a wee bit of damage here because they're going to load that up and presumably attack in with the Frenzied Bailiff. Please attack in. You'll love to see it. Sure. It doesn't really matter how I block, right? I just block like this. Okie dokie. This is what we came here to do. Our poor defense takes a pretty big hit there. We actually get one more draw out of this Lake Town Lookout as well. We get to ping the opponent for 3, and they are in big old trouble here. We get to actually see the Sephiroth attack kill. Sure. I don't even think I get to it, right? It's so much damage. Oh man, this has been just a good morning, hasn't it? There's our Umbra Caller Zealot. I guess I keep it. It doesn't matter. This game is well and truly over. I'm sacrificing another thing. Sure, fine, sacrifice this. We'll pitch the Enduring Innocence and get more triggers from the Surveil. Again, do you like clicking? Because if you like clicking, this is 100% the deck for you. I cannot state it enough. That's all this deck does. I just want to attack in. Actually, it doesn't matter. We don't want Servandum, but this game it's over. It's over just with Sephiroth doing the attack in the air, but I never get to actually do this attack. So sack. Let's just do. Let me do it, opponent. Come on, be cool. Be cool. Yes, you go, you wonderful white-haired individual. One more. Is it Control couldn't stop us? Kavaro, Superior Spider-Man couldn't stop us. Ouroboride couldn't stop us. What stops this crazy gravy train? Is it our own deck that ends up bringing the end to everything? It's possible, but we are on the play. We do have Voice of Victory on turn 2 into into a potential Enduring Innocence on the following turn. That would be pretty great to start drawing cards. Worst case scenario, hopefully we are able to attack in with the Voice of Victory, and then we can do Sackville-Bagginses shenanigans. Okay. So it's possible. I have no idea what's going on with the opponent. Oh, okay. Bad news for us. So we have been slowed down ever so slightly. From here, it's Enduring Innocence or Voice of Victory plus Infestation Sage, or Sackville-Bagginses plus Infestation Sage. I mean, we have lots and lots of choices. You know what? I think it's probably just get the Enduring Innocence onto the field now so that we can start drawing cards as soon as possible. We don't have any of our Surveil things. We don't have our sack out. We don't have our pingers either. So we need to draw cards with the Enduring Innocence is kind of where my head's at with this thing. Next turn, probably I'm going to be incentivized to put out the Voice of Victory plus the Infestation Sage. Okay, Dawnhand Dissident is a new card to me. Blight 1, Surveil 1. Okay. Blight 2, exile target card from a graveyard. During your turn, you may cast creature spells from among cards you've exiled with this creature by removing 3 counters from among creatures you control in addition to paying their costs. That's a mouthful. The opponent had the Heritage Reclamation for my poor... Oh, Oh, no way! Wow, 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 wow. What a gamer move. Yeah, talk about... Okie dokie. All right, I see what we're doing here. The client has decided that they are going to challenge us with somebody who has the super secret tech that exiles stuff from our graveyard. Did not have that on my list. Okay, from here, we're also kind of in a bit of a spot because although we can attack in with the Voice of Victory, we're going to be losing it. So we're not doing that. Instead, we're just going to put out the Bagginses, sacrifice our poor creature here, find a land, which is okay, fine. And Vengeful Blood Witch onto the field. Was it actually supposed to be the Umbral Caller Zealot? I don't know. Let's see what the opponent has. They have a ton of mana. They're doing Golgari Elf stuff, and this Golgari Elf stuff is actually kind of terrifying because they now have so much mana. More mana than they could possibly ever want, I'm sure. They kept it on top. Not good. Surveil 1 from this Dissident. What a cool card. And they just find another Elvish Archdruid. So our deck is going to have a whole lot of trouble against this type of deck because we don't run interaction. So we have to just hope that they don't have a way of overrunning us, or that if, you know, we got to be able to... Oh, they're refilling. They're going to do so much work to us. Yeah. Or, you know, we are able to find our sacrifice kill, which we're getting close to it. If we find, I don't know, like we need another Vengeful Blood Witch. We need a Sephiroth maybe. We do have 5 mana available to us, but we're gonna have to start putting stuff in front of their stuff. Servandum is okay. I think I don't really have much of a choice but to put it onto the field and just try to soak up as much damage as I can on the following turn. I may as well attack in with the 1/1 just to put a little bit of extra damage on the opponent, and then with the Umbral Caller Zealot, we can sacrifice it to do 1 more point of damage. But I'm really afraid of a Craterhoof Behemoth here. Any number of things. We also do have the encampment that we can possibly turn on to get more warriors, which are effectively just more sack fodder. Actually, that card throws off our math quite a bit because now they are going to... Oh, okay. I think it's over. So we ran into our great nemesis. I don't know if we could have even survived had we had the Enduring Innocence on the field. But here's a Craterhoof Behemoth. They have still... Oh, it's just a Tyvar. Oh, it's just a Tyvar. No problem. GG opponent. This is cool. If I'm going to be going down to 1 deck, I'm kind of happy that I'm going down to Elves. They don't have Trample, though. So, you know, if there's one thing I've learned over the course of this video, it's that you never know. You never know. Sure. So they're sending in 4, 5 creatures. The bad part is I do have to put everything in front of everything. I cannot leave a single creature unblocked because all of their creatures are going to get +7, +21 damage, +7, +7. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, hold on. We want to pass the blockers. They're going to get, yeah, a tremendous amount of damage. So we can do this. We're going to do it because we do have the Raise the Past out. So we go through the motions of sacrificing some stuff. Sack. Boom. Okay, it's going to take a second. We get to also surveil. So we want to surveil a bunch of stuff into the graveyard. And then we want to finally, at the very end, get Raise the Past. We do not want to see a Raise the Past on the top of our library in the next like 2 or 3 things. Okay. Okay, Servandum. Sure, another Servandum is always good. We may as well sack the Bagginses, because we're going to bring it back with... Like, I could sack this, but I think no matter what, we need just Raise the Past. There's only one card that gets us out of this, and it's Raise the Past. Hey, we have 2 more. We also get to get rid of... one of their blockers with this Servandum. So we sacrifice the Servandum. Servandum had 4 or more power. We just snipe the 4/4 over here, the one that can tap for mana. It's fine. That's also fine. That's less fine. I actually don't want them gaining any life because I'm not sure how much reach I actually have. So 1 more drain. And Vengeful Bloodwitch, and this is it. This is it. This is the last one. We get to sack this guy, and if it's not a Raise the Past, okay, we have 1 more draw. We have our draw for the turn. It has to be Raise the Past. Oh, never mind. I can do this. I forgot that I could sack this too. So then I should have. Okay, I'm missing 1 point of damage here. I forgot that I could do that. Okay, we have 1 more draw. Raise the Past off the top. We put 3 in the deck. Every time lucky. Good game, opponent. In the past, when I recorded my video, the opponent didn't let me do the crazy thing. And I'm going to let the opponent do the crazy thing. So, just for funsies, let's see how I wish I could tell them. What can I... don't... Yip means go for it. Go for it. Do the thing. Do the crazy thing. I'm trying to signal to the opponent. I want them to load up all of their mana and do the absolute nutty thing. And I'm going to use... Actually, I got a new emote. I got this from the Midweek Magic, I think. And it's pretty cool. Have never seen this emote before. I'm going to let the opponent... Yes. Let's make sure... I'm enjoying myself. Just let the opponent know that they can do it. Oh, that's it? That's it? Oh, the opponent didn't take advantage of, like, pumping up all their team to, like, crazy numbers. Maybe I expected too much. A fine way to end this little set of videos. Let's go to a wrap-up. So Orzhov Sac looking pretty good in this set of games. Honestly, had a blast playing it. It is a lot of clicking. It's a lot of like maneuvering around, I guess, and trying to figure out the best line. So it's not going to be the deck for everyone, but if you're willing to give it a shot, it's actually pretty fun to play. And I think, honestly, Lake Town Lookout, pretty great card. My experience with this card playing it so far in other decks is that often I let it die, and then I don't really want to throw away action to get the recruit. But in the case of this deck, because we're playing Raise the Past, we just throw everything into the graveyard anyway. So the Lake Town Lookout is actually like a fantastic card in this deck. And then the Sackville-Bagginses, that treasure token, pretty good. That card draw, pretty good. It is also a temporary sack outlet source, I guess you can say, but then bringing them back with the Raise the Past gives us even more sacks. It creates more treasures. It pings the opponent here and there. I like the card. I think it has a perfect place in this deck. 3 feels about right. Overall, you're going to have some trouble against decks that are kind of comboing or doing crazy stuff like you saw in the Elf video or Elf match at the end there, because we simply don't have interaction outside of Servandum. So if they're able to get Elvish Archdruids onto the field, generating a ton of mana, what are we really going to be able to do about that? We did, though, have the opportunity to steal a win because we're really good at blocking wide boards. And then if we did find the Raise the Past, I'm confident that we probably would have had the damage at the end to end the opponent. I think they were only at like 16, 17 life, something like that. And I'm pretty sure we had all the elements in our graveyard that we needed with the Raise the Past. Now, should Raise the Past be a 4 of in the deck? I don't know. In the past, when I played this deck, it's always been a 4 of. This list was only running 3. And I think because we are drawing so many cards, because we are putting so much stuff in the graveyard and surveilling so often, probably running 3 is enough. Most of the time, like you saw in these games, you're going to find the Raise the Past. It's not going to be a big issue. At times, though, you know, your mileage may vary, as the saying goes. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. It's something a little bit different. I don't play a lot of these types of decks on the channel. You all know that I prefer my aggro to anything else, but this kind of combo, kill the opponent not through combat but through other means type of deck is fun once in a while to visit. If you have some other decks that you would like me to play, do make sure you let me know down in the comments. One of the main reasons I did end up picking up this deck this week was because a commenter last week did say, hey, I've been playing this deck and I would love to see you play it to see if I'm missing something, or, you know, along those lines. Just to see how it plays out from another person's perspective. And so I decided to load the deck up, try it out myself, and here we are. So if I can't guarantee anything, but if you leave a comment down below saying, hey, I'm interested in this deck, could happen. Never know. I was going to say something about control, but yeah, control could happen too. That's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Sarang Ipana, as always. Goodbye. Have a good night. I botched the ending. Take care.